the Dawgs Podcast with your hosts, Blake Reneker, Justin Charles, and Josh All.
Hey, what's up, Dog Pack? Welcome to another Dog Pack Discord preview show. This week, Bears, Browns on Sunday. It's going to be a fun one. It's going to be a cold one. We're going to talk about all of that. Josh All, your host. We got people filling up in the audience here. Appreciate you guys being here. As always, Kenny Mack is going to be here helping me do this show in a little bit. He ran into some traffic on the way home from work, so he's running just a little bit late, but got to get the show started at 5, and he'll jump in whenever he's ready to go. So if you guys, before we get started here, if you want to come up, questions, opinions, takes, whatever you got for the Browns, anything you want to talk about. Truth says Canada has traffic. I guess, apparently. I don't know. But if you guys want to come up here and talk, like always, get your hands up down in the audience and or just drop your thoughts and comments, questions in the chat. We'll go through all of that as well. And if you want to be a part of these Dog Pack Discord lives in the future, but you're not right now, you're just listening after the fact, make sure you go to jointhedawgs.com, become an official Dog Pack member on the Patreon page, sync up with the private Discord, hang out with all of these awesome people in the Dog Pack 24/7. Always something going on in there, plus be part of these episodes in the future. It's kind of crazy that we've only got 4 of these left, only 3 after this one. Three previews. Like I said, we're going to keep doing these Discord lives throughout the off season. So we'll do it during the NFL playoffs and Super Bowl and, you know, free agency and draft and everything. It's going to be a ton of fun hanging out with you guys once a week like this. But only 3 previews left after this one. It is insane. Stacy says she's going to try to get in before she has to go back to work. Let's just cut right to it. Stacy, come on up. What do you got? I think you're on mute.
Sorry.
There we go. Yeah, gotcha.
All right. Well, I just wanted, I guess, to kick off the episode by saying after that Titans game, I don't know how you watch Shedeur and think that he can't be our possible franchise quarterback. That was just like an amazing game. And I'm really happy to see him do as good as he did. But that being said, I just think that I hope that the coaching staff can at least see that. And I really, I've been saying since day one, I do not want to draft a quarterback. Please, I'm so done with drafting a quarterback. Like, we need to just stick with somebody, work around them, and actually get weapons and see how that goes. So that's what I hope that we do. And I hope he just continues to build off of that game.
I agree 100%. We've had these discussions all year about how weird the handling has been with the whole rookie quarterback situation. Dylan Gabriel in the third, giving him first team reps right off the rip, all this kind of stuff. And, Shedeur's the fourth. Just everything that's gone on has been weird. But this week, the comments from Kevin in the press conferences and everything, it's different. Does anybody else get that sense? Let me know in the chat what you guys think. Stacy, what do you think? If you've heard his comments or listened to him, I feel like he's winning. If Kevin wasn't fully won over at any point before, I feel like he's getting there. I think people are starting to see that.
I heard it and I agree.
Okay.
I have to say, it seems like he's finally starting to turn around. I think it's annoying in the first place that he wasn't team whoever's going to make our team the best chance to win, So I'm still annoyed with the whole Dylan Gabriel and how much time they gave him, but it is what it is. We're hopefully past that now and we don't have to see that guy again. But yeah, I do think he's starting to hopefully turn around a little bit. And I mean, really, if Shedeur does good, it's going to save him his job. I feel like that's the only thing potentially that could save his job. So why would you not want the guy to do good? And then on top of it, as Browns fans, how great would it be to laugh in everyone's face that we got this 5th round pick that is potentially, a playoff quarterback, maybe Super Bowl if we're going to get crazy. But you know what I mean? It would just be so funny because of the Browns' history and just the way that we always seem to be on the losing end to finally be able to laugh in everyone else's face.
Oh, I agree. I mean, we've been through, this is quarterback 42. We deserve it. Damn it. We deserve to have a 5th round quarterback fall in our lap and be the guy. My biggest fear is that he's going to look good, continue to look good throughout the rest of the season, these last 4 games. And then we're going to do something stupid in the offseason and draft another quarterback or something. I'm afraid that we'll have this great opportunity in front of us and for some reason they just won't take it.
Or they're going to start stupid Deshaun, and we're going to be looking at him, and then we just want Shedeur to sit a little bit longer. And oh God, please just let the kid do it. Just let him get out there.
I agree 100%. I mean, and we talked about this last week, done a couple episodes now talking about people saying, oh, it's just the Titans. Why are you guys getting so excited about the Titans? It was his third start against, it's not like a college team. This isn't, St. Mary Sisters of the Poor or whatever, that you play on a tune-up game. It's an NFL.
Also, I think the Titans defense is pretty decent. Like that Simmons guy, that guy's a beast.
Yeah.
And like, I think they have a couple other pieces, pretty good pieces. So, I mean, I understand their record is what it is, but I mean, a lot of that has to do with their offense.
Yeah,
hey, man, name me the quarterback that had the exact same or better stats than Shedeur against the Titans. There is not a name out there, and nobody did that against them. And Simmons did look amazing. Our line maybe made him look amazing. And but that, the Titans, that was like a two-headed monster. It was Simmons on defense, that was Pollard on offense. If we could have just erased those two guys, that would have been way better for us.
Well, yeah.
And erase our coach. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, and that goes to what I was just about to say. So if you would have told me before the Titans game last week, we did this preview show on Thursday, if somebody would have gone in the future and come back and said, Josh, the Browns are going to score 29 points. Shedeur Sanders is going to put up 4 touchdowns against the Titans, I would say, that's it. We got our 4th win. Absolutely. No way we just lost to the Titans doing all that. Yeah, we lost to the Titans.
The amount of times that we've put up stats that are like crazy offensive stats or crazy defensive stats and still lost the game is just beyond me.
It is.
Like, I can't.
That's kind of where I am then with the coaching staff. So obviously you guys know I have been like, just fire these yahoos, get them out of here. I'm sick of watching this dysfunction on the field every week. But now that Shedeur's in there, and you mentioned, he could be the only one to save Kevin's job. I don't think you're wrong, because if we continue to see development and improvement from Shedeur and the offense continues to look a little bit more competent, the best bet for him to keep that starting position at quarterback is to have the consistency of the regime that drafted him and made him the starter now. It's going to be really hard for these guys, for this regime to walk it back to say, yeah, next year we're going to start Deshaun. Oh, you want to talk about like your jobs will be called for before you ever play a game. So I don't know. Now I'm sort of in that gray area where it's like, what's better for the future of the team? Because I think, obviously, it's only been 3 starts, but I'm very encouraged by what I've seen with Shedeur Sanders, and I expect him to continue to show development and growth over these last 4 games. Do I expect him to do 4 touchdowns and almost 400 yards? No, that's probably going to be the best game he has this year, and that's fine. That's a great game for anybody to have as their best game. I just want to see the continued...
Sorry, Josh, I got to head out because I got to go back to work. But I was just going to say the only other thing, too, about Shedeur that I think is annoying me is when people get so upset about his interceptions and like, oh, he threw such a bad pick. The guy's a rookie, number one. He's going to have to learn. This is his 3rd game starting. He'll get there. And if you watch these other games, are you watching the other games in the NFL? Jalen Hurts threw, I don't even know how many interceptions. And fumbles, too. And that game was wild. And then it's Brock Purdy, we know, had the game before us. That was, I think, 3. So, like, these quarterbacks that have been in the league are still throwing bad interceptions. Why does he get such a short leash when it comes to the interception? Like, it's like everything that he does. And same with the sacks. Like, if you look at the sacks of the other quarterbacks, they're all taking sacks, like strip sacks, even some of the other quarterbacks. At least he holds on to the ball. So it's just the hate that he gets is so annoying. But I know it's also partly probably because he's a 5th round pick and he's working out the way that he is. I'm sure people are a little upset. And of course, it's the Browns. So nobody wants us to do good. Yeah, but that's it. I'll talk to you guys later.
All right. Thanks for jumping up here real quick and talking. We appreciate hearing from you.
I think it's partly just his swagger, too. Some people don't like it. They don't like his social media presence. It takes a while to get used to. There's even probably some cloud about his old man and the way he handles himself, and that carries through Shedeur, and people just didn't like that. I used to watch Deion Sanders when he was with the 49ers, the Cowboys, but when he came into the league with the Falcons, man, he just had this unbelievable swagger, something that wasn't part of the NFL, and I think Shedeur has that, and for whatever reason, the traditionalists, let's say. It just kind of rubs them the wrong way. The kid's having fun, and I think you said it in the last one, like he handles himself in the media really well, and he also doesn't fall for any of the bait that Mary Kay and Tony Grossi and all these clowns give them. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm very impressed with him right now.
Oh, me too. I've been telling people on social media all week, like, he's doing everything that we've always wanted a franchise type of quarterback to come in here and do off the field and now on the field. I mean, if we had taken him at 2 overall, if the Browns had drafted Shedeur Sanders, number 2 overall in the draft, how would we be feeling right now with the way he's played and with the way he's handled himself off the field? We'd be like, I think we got our guy. We took him at 2. We invested that first round pick. It worked. We got him. Okay, so we got him in the 5th round. He's still the same guy. Still the same player. And, you know, Stacey was talking about what other quarterbacks do. Other quarterbacks throw interceptions. Other quarterbacks are getting sacked and all that kind of stuff. I don't know if you guys saw my post about the pressure to sack ratio for Shedeur Sanders. Over 3 starts puts him number 4, I believe it was, overall, best pressure to sack ratio in the whole NFL. Meaning the amount of times that opposing defenses are, applying pressure to the quarterback and converting those into sacks, he's got the 4th lowest in the league right now, over 3 starts. Now, that's taking out the Ravens game, which even if you had in that Ravens half, those 2 quarters where he got sacked, what was it? I don't remember how many times. He's still like 9th. He's still top 10. So it's actually pretty impressive what he's been able to do.
You're going to throw close to 400 yards. You're going to throw an interception too. I mean, he's a gamer. Should he have taken that interception back? Absolutely. I mean, had it been like the one-arm punt, like Blake likes to say, if he would have got tackled right away, would we really have been that angry about it? It's the return yardage. It was the time in the game, and it is what it is. But you're right. That is probably going to be one of his best games of the year, if not his best game. He'll probably learn from it. We've seen him learn all season. Like, guys, think about it. At the end of preseason, the last two quarters of the Ravens, he was kind of like the same guy trying to get out of the pocket, and then came the Raiders game. He threw short and he threw really long, but there was no intermediate stuff. Then there's a little sprinkle of the intermediate, but the biggest thing that I noticed this week, man, he stepped up into that pocket. And when he stepped up in the pocket and couldn't rip it, and you guys might have already said this, he ran appropriately. He ran responsibly, and I love that because that's what we were missing. Even Baker didn't run that much. He's running way more in Tampa if you watch him right now, but you got to pick your times to run. And sometimes the Red Sea parts, and you got to take those yards. And that's something we never saw with Dylan Gabriel, man. Like, that guy just would kind of float to the outside or not pass the line of scrimmage. That got us where we needed to be. And if he can just take what we saw, regardless of what you think about the Titans, and just apply that to the Bears, that would be amazing.
Yeah, I mean, the touchdown run where he kind of scrambled his way out of pressure, out of what was probably going to be a sack, and was able to maneuver his way out of that and get into the end zone for a touchdown. That's what you see the athletic quarterbacks in the NFL do in that area of the field. I'm not looking for Shedeur Sanders to put up, 75 rushing yards in a game and be Jalen Hurts or Justin Fields. But to be able to do that and get points on the board that way, I mean, it's just an added bonus. A couple things I want to mention real quick, and then Brad, I will get you up here, I promise. Kevin in the chat says you can already see massive improvement in how he maneuvers the pocket and keeps his eyes downfield. You can also actually see him going through his progressions and making some really good decisions. I wanted to talk about that because, he had the 1 interception. It was bad. He was trying to press a little bit. The Browns are down 31-17 in the 4th quarter. And we can't run the ball. We couldn't run the ball if it was a tie game. So we're definitely not going to be running the ball. The Titans know this. The run game is out of the question. We have to try to get back in this game. We have to throw. They know that. And he was able to still take the team down the field twice, not once, but twice, to what should have tied up the game. I thought that was very impressive in that situation to be able to do that.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. He was very impressive in the game. And when you were talking about him, he kind of turned back into the blockers. He was able to use his blockers to run up the field. It presented himself with some running lanes. I just thought really well done on his part. I just wish they would have called a better game for him. I would say in the 1st and the 3rd quarter. No, sorry. was it the first and third quarter? They were kind of lulls, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I thought there was just too much run, not enough of him. But maybe they took the training wheels off a little bit. Maybe they got more comfortable with him, and he deserved what he got for play calls, and they needed it in the fourth quarter.
I don't think they had a choice.
Yeah,
in the fourth
that's
quarter.
what I'm saying. Like that's it, right? So.
This episode is sponsored by Baden Sports. Browns fans, we have had Christmas decorated all over the place since November 1st. That's right. It is coming up very quickly, Christmas time. And the best thing you can do is get ahead of your gift giving list and go to badensports.com/dogs, DAWGS, and check out everything they have to offer and use promo code DAWGS to get 10% off your entire order. You could find some really nice Christmas gifts for the athletes in your life. Obviously, baseball season would be right around the corner in the spring. They've got training balls. They've got regular game baseballs, bats, baseball gloves, all sorts of basketballs and other gear, pumps, ball bags, gym bags, things like that for your basketball players. And then the gifts that I really like to give family members and people like that would be the backyard games. Get those for Christmas gifts because then they can hold on to those and break them out when the weather gets nice. And it's like that Christmas gift that didn't get used right away at Christmas, and they get to experience that joy again later in the year. Badminton, outdoor volleyball, bocce, horseshoes, kickball. They've got a knockout game set. And of course, pickleball, which I know I've been saying on here I need to learn how to play. I haven't yet, but I do plan to learn at some point, and I will be getting my first pickleball set from Baden Sports. So head over to badensports.com/dogs and get 10% off your entire order with promo code DAWGS, DAWGS, when you check out. That's Baden Sports, BADEN sports.com/dogs. We'll get Brad on up here. Brad, I think everybody was so disappointed in the show the other day. You didn't do a song.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just crashing out.
Man, we all were live on YouTube.
I couldn't find the perfect crash out song, so I just I'm just gonna full on crash out because it was just like Shedeur looked great. Let's talk about everything else that was awful.
Do we have to?
No, we don't.
Now go for it.
No, I mean, no, just man. You know, our defense has been good at home all year, and then them for just to we lose one guy on the defense and nobody can replace him and let all that run game go on. I mean, we were on par to let Pollard go for almost 200 yards rushing that game.
You know what? You know what it reminded me of, Brad? Real quick, see if you agree with me. It reminded me of the playoff game down in Houston in 2023 when our defense had been so dominant all year, and we're like, okay, we're going down here. We got a chance to beat these guys at home. We already did it once. They got a rookie quarterback, CJ Stroud. We got this great defense, and we got obliterated.
Yep, it was bad,
very bad.
But special teams, we've already exhausted that. We already know.
Terrible.
I mean, if Bubba is not fired in this offseason, I would be beyond shocked. But as far as Shedeur goes, so I've been mulling this over. For me personally, and a lot of my other friends agreed with me, I need to see the last 4 games. I need to see Shedeur progress, and I need to see at least, at minimum, 200 yards passing and a positive touchdown to interception ratio. For me to be comfortable saying we don't need to draft a guy. And I know a lot of people are like after the Titans game, oh, that's the game. Well, let me remind you that we've had some rookies on this team that balled out for a game, and then the next game was just total ass. So just I want people just to temper their emotions on the quarterback because it's been a problem for us for a long time.
Brad with the voice of reason.
Dude, I totally agree with you. I mean, I'm praising Shedeur right now, and I'm praising the progression he's made since he came into the Ravens game. That being said, to be realistic, I would just need to see some more stuff. Again, with Tommy Rees, what you want is you want a great play action game and some RPO. That means he's got to consistently hit those 10-yard plays down the field, and they may end up into some more yak for whoever. And then I would like to see him continue to step up in the pocket, deliver those runs when they're necessary, and that needs to happen over the next 4 games. And if he can win 1 or 2, that would be even better. But Josh made a post, and one of the biggest things that he seems to be doing is there's a self-belief in the offense right now, and he's raising the game of the players around him. Maybe not the offensive line, though. But he is on the skilled players, though, and I thought that even if you didn't like the last 2-point conversion, I thought there was belief when that call was called that was going to happen, and there's belief in the team in that play, and it was because of Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah.
If he continues on the trajectory that he is, I wouldn't see them needing another quarterback. Based on what we know about him today, sure, Mary Kay came out and said they still may draft one. Well, that's still always going to be on the table because we don't know what the next 4 games is going to be like. But I like what I see, and I'm realistically, I totally get what you're saying about, like, let's just temper those expectations just a little bit. But it was great to see what we saw on Sunday.
Oh yeah, I mean it's promising, and like he just showed something that Dylan hasn't, and a lot of other quarterbacks we've had haven't. I'm just in my own expectations for him. If I can see, 200 yards and a positive touchdown to interception ratio, I'll be like, all right, we don't need a quarterback. Let's and it's hard to do that because the quarterback position has been so exhausting to find for this team. Oh. And it's when you see something like that, you're like, oh man, might have somebody. And then, then the next 4 games, he looks, he could look like DTR, and that's just,
he's not going to look like DTR. That I would put money on. That worst quarterback to ever play in the NFL. He's got the worst touchdown to interception ratio in history, 1-11. Pretty freaking bad. I just want to take the other side of this here real quick on the Shedeur thing and say, like, well, one, I know you're saying like 200 yards and a positive touchdown turnover ratio, all that stuff. Sunday, just to give you guys a quick spoiler for what I'm going to get into here about this game, I'm tempering expectations for this game because they're calling for -15, -20 wind chill. And we've seen what these freezing cold games do to everything in the game. Like I expect it to be a lower scoring game than what a lot of people might think being the Bears and what the Browns just showed they can potentially do on offense just because of how cold it's going to be. And then also, like, I know people still want to like harp on his completion percentage and stuff like that. He's not thrown to anybody. We don't have anybody to throw to. That's my other thing I'm trying to keep in the back of my mind. Like, okay, he's not out here throwing to a Justin Jefferson or CD Lamb or, even like a Terry McLaurin level player. He's throwing to Gage Larvidan, a practice squad guy, and, Jerry Jeudy. Whoop-de-doo. It's just, it sucks because the evaluation is going to be based on a lot of his stat numbers come the offseason. We just got to keep in mind what he's working with.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I get that. Whether I guess I just at minimum I want to see a positive ratio, because it's just we've always seen the negative side of the ratio.
Oh, yeah.
I just want to see more positive side of the ratio.
I'm with you, and I see people saying too, like a lot of the media people saying, well, he's going to be evaluated somewhat on the wins and losses over this last stretch. And I'm like, well, that's bullshit because he should have won this last game or at least tied it up and given us a chance to go win it in overtime. It wasn't, people are like, well, the Browns lost, so he lost that game. I'm sorry. I will defend that night and day. Like, he did not lose that game.
Yeah.
He brought you back with everything with a chance to win that game. Your defense lost it from the jump. Your head coach screwed it up with stupid decisions. That was terrible.
So
I get it. Sometimes the defense doesn't have it, but
it was
just
the
the way the
Titans,
Titans
man.
have been playing all game, that's a game that you got to show up for, man. Like, that was the most frustrating. I don't know. Special teams is still the most frustrating thing. The defense not showing up against the Titans was super frustrating.
When it comes to Kevin Stefanski, though, and how I'm hearing around the AFC North, particularly, that like every media is basically like, yeah, we got to move on from our head coach. And like how our organization, like, yeah, everybody's like, yeah, fire Kevin. But like, they're kind of like not like giving like the inclination that they're going to do that. Is just like, okay, how far the AFC North has fallen from grace when we had like the best record across the board a couple of years ago. And now we're like, you know, Joe Burrow's talking about wanting to retire from the Bengals, basically. I mean, you can read between the lines on it. I mean, he's not saying directly, but he's sounding a lot like how, Andrew said when he retired from the Colts. So, and obviously he's having the same problem the Colts were having there. They couldn't put a line around him.
Yep.
And people are losing faith in, Harbaugh. People are like a lot of people have been done for Tomlin for a while because of his terrible playoff record. They haven't made the playoffs, won a playoff game in 10 years.
Yeah.
So, and Zach Taylor, I think even like when they went to the Super Bowl, people were kind of done with Zach Taylor. So, but it's like, it's crazy right now. And then you have what was not on my bingo card as far as quarterbacks, Philip Rivers coming out of retirement. I mean,
that's crazy.
I mean, come on, man. I mean, Kenny could come play quarterback.
I'd have to go to like defensive end or something, man. Again, there's no way I'm slinging the ball, man.
Like the stuff with Kevin it is interesting because obviously but when the season wraps up here, and it depends on how these last 4 games go. Like if we string together 4 wins, it's like, okay, shoot, that's cool. Something really great happened. Or we could just be embarrassing like we were last week and several weeks this year. So I wouldn't be surprised if they fired him, and I'm also not going to be surprised if they say we're keeping him for 2026. I can easily see them going either way. And and I've always been like, you guys know, I have been saying to get rid of him and everybody. I like Kevin. It's not that it's nothing personal. It's not that I don't like him. Games like Sunday have happened way too many times in the last 6 years, and even if we keep him, are you going to be surprised when this kind of thing happens next year again?
Yeah, exactly. The biggest thing is, though, if you're going to get rid of them, though, so like Brad or Josh, like who's your top candidate then? Because I'm not as confident in the candidates that are coming through. I hear a lot of John Gruden, talk, but this is fan talk, guys. This is, just kind of what I'm reading in comments. And after that, then I don't really know where you would go with that. Like what kind of candidates that you would possibly want,
Yeah. I mean, I'm more, I've been on and I don't know if he'll come out, but, and I know Blake bashes me on it a little bit, but I've liked Lincoln Riley a lot at USC, but I don't know if he'll come and be a head coach here. But he's like the quarterback whisperer. And then Chris Shula is another good name. And Kubiak's son is a good one. And yeah.
I still like the, is it Mike? Yeah. I always get it mixed up. Mike LaFleur out in LA with the Rams. Because Matt LaFleur's in Green Bay. So it's his brother, Mike. I got that right?
Yeah, Mike LaFleur. Yeah.
The M's always mess me up. Okay. Something like that. Kevin here in the chat says this job would only appeal to a first-time head coach who's just looking for an opportunity. Well, yeah, I think that would be what you're getting, especially with this. Still, we got the dark cloud of Deshaun Watson that's going to be here next year, and that's going to, make things interesting, I guess.
That's
not
the
in a good
biggest
way.
thing. I mean, if you're a head coach, and even if it's a first time opportunity, you really want to deal with this Deshaun Watson stuff. You still like we're going to be able to roll over some cap money. You're going to be able to get some guys. Shedeur is going to be, if he continues on the trajectory that he's on, will attract some people. But we're probably going to have to draft receivers high. That can get you some people, but like, I mean, if you're John Gruden, do you want to deal with that? If you're Frank Wright, do you want to deal with that? If you're like, whoever gets fired this year, do you want to deal with that? Like, those are all tough things to deal with. And like, you got to deal with Jimmy, like somebody mentioned Clint Kubiak, you know what I mean? Like there's all these guys that could possibly be head coaches and get the Callahans back in or something. Like, I don't know, but I haven't put a realistic amount of coaches together, to make a decision for replacing Stefanski, even though his game calling in these last 2 seasons are driving me crazy.
Yeah, no, for real. We'll have to just wait until the season's over, I guess. See what happens and see who's actually available. Because while our situation might not be, the most ideal, what are we going to have? The Giants, the Jets, some of these other teams. It's like, maybe not even the Jets. I think they're probably going to stick with Aaron Glenn for another year. So, for sure. The Titans, like none of these teams are good. They've got a couple nice pieces on them, as do we. So I don't know. I think either way you look at it, coaches getting fired is usually not a good thing for that team.
No, absolutely.
But
yeah, that's my 2 thoughts about last week. Just, I want to see Shedeur continue to progress. And if the Browns could free my boy off a practice squad, that'd be cool. Bring him up, let him perform for the last 4 games of the season.
Who, Luke?
I'd love to see Luke back out in the field. My boy, Luke Floria.
Well, Floria and Valverdan were the only guys catching balls in the preseason. So maybe that'll do something.
See what's going on. Cause we are going to be down two receivers, Cedric Tillman and Malachi Corler, are both dealing with concussions.
Ooh, so maybe Luke will come up. Oh,
maybe, we'll find out. Maybe I'll have to bring up I got to bring up the injury report anyway for today, but yeah. So we'll see if maybe Thrash will be active this week.
Yeah. Then I like Luke Whippler. He looked pretty good. I mean, I don't know why he wasn't starting before, but he looked pretty good this game.
I don't know. Apparently, you're only allowed to bench Wyatt Teller for performance. Everybody else is good to go. I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
I'll let somebody else
continue what he did for I know it was a low number of snaps, but I'd like to see him continue on his pass blocking.
Yep.
We'll see the run blocking in full display based on the wind chill that you're giving me. I can't imagine either team's going to have too many pass attempts based on what we're seeing, what the temperature is going to be. But I hope he moves forward and can get himself a great 4-game audition.
I do too. Especially, one, he's from Ohio State. Let's go. He was a later round pick.
And OH, baby.
IO. And he was very good at Ohio State. He was very good in like the preseason games and stuff when he was a rookie and these things. Last year he got hurt, missed the season. So it's encouraging to see that whenever he does have to step in, in a situation like last week, somebody gets hurt, he holds his own. He does very good. He allowed 0 pressures on 24 snaps in a situation in the game where they knew we had to pass. So again, same way I was impressed with Shedeur in that situation, I was also impressed with Luke Whippler.
Hey, did you want the did not practices for today?
Yeah, sure. Why don't we go through the injury stuff?
Yeah, so you have Joel Petonio did not practice. Jack Conklin did not practice. Mason Graham did not practice. Aiden Huntington did not practice. David Njoku, Dylan Sampson, Wyatt Teller, Cedric Tillman, and Denzel Ward. Yikes.
Okay. Yeah, not ideal. So I'm just trying to pull up here, and this is from today, right? Yes. Okay. So DNPs, like you said, Ward. So I'm just looking to see what they are. Calf, Cedric Tillman, concussion and rib. Tillman's not playing this weekend. He might not play the rest of the season. We saw it last year. He got a concussion. He missed 6 or 7 weeks. I'm not counting on Tillman to play again this year. Teller, we already knew is out. He won't play again this year probably. Yeah, like you said, Samson. These calf injuries, man. What's going on with everybody having calf injuries? Joku with the knee, that's not great. We are going to be very limited in our passing options. So Malachi Corley was actually limited in practice the last 2 days. I was not expecting to see that. Maybe his concussion wasn't as bad. Maybe he will suit up. But either way, we're going to need a little help, especially if we don't have Tillman and Njoku. Kevin says, not that Tillman has done much anyway. Yeah, I know. Very, very disappointed in... If anybody gets fired outside of Bubba Ventrone, can we just get rid of Chad O'Shea? Please? I
don't know what he's done, but
so this is the thing. The two coaches that need to be just need to go have secondary titles that go along with their main title. So you got Bubba, who's the special teams coordinator, but he's also the assistant head coach. Get him out of here. He doesn't need to be doing either one of those things. Chad O'Shea, wide receiver coach, and he's also the passing game coordinator. Both of those things suck and have sucked for a long time. What? Get him out of here. Yeah. What are we doing?
I mean, since Cooper's been gone, there's been nothing.
Right. It's crazy. Crazy. All right, Braylon wants to come up. We'll talk to Braylon real quick, and then we'll dive into this Bears matchup.
How you guys doing?
Good. How are you?
Braylon, my man, how you been?
Good, man. It's my first time on the show. I just want to say it's a pleasure.
Glad to have you.
I've been following you guys for about a month or two now from my dad, which is the reason why I'm a Browns fan, unfortunately.
Me too.
But anyways, I would just like to come on here and talk to you guys about the upcoming draft for this year. I think from what I've done in terms of scouting and whatnot, because I love watching college football, I'll tell you, I think this is a very wide receiver and safety strong draft. Now, I'm not saying we really need to draft a lot of safeties or anything, because I think Delpit's amazing. But I think we could probably get rid of Ronnie Hickman. And in terms of the wide receivers, I'm a Louisville fan. I live in Louisville. I live in Kentucky. So I really have no reason to be a Browns fan besides just my family. But I've been following them for years anyways. I'll say if we could just draft 2 or 3 receivers, I love Chris Bell that plays for Louisville. He's projected to go in the late second, maybe third. If we could get him there, I think it's a steal. Just obviously our quarterback's been absolutely terrible. Can't throw him the ball. Sorry, I'm out of breath. I just had to run away for a second to try and join the show.
No, you're good, man.
Yeah, and I'd say I love Jordan Tyson, but I really think we should just draft Carnell Tate. Just everything about him stands out, and I think he'd be an alpha in the league.
I agree. You guys, if you follow, I Buckeye fan, of course, Buckeye alum, but I just love Carnell Tate. I love what he can offer to our offense that we don't have. And you think about Shedeur Sanders, who likes to take these deep shots down the field. Carnell Tate has caught 12 out of 14 contested catch throws this year. He is amazing at going down and getting the ball, winning 50-50 balls. And he's a great route runner. He's just, you're right. He can be an alpha in the league. Chris Bell, I know they just came out and announced that he had a torn ACL a couple weeks ago, I think, in one of the games. So he'll be, I think a lot of the mock drafts I was looking at a couple months ago and stuff had him maybe projected late first round. So yeah, I think maybe second, third round, depending on how the medical's clear and all that kind of stuff. And then Jordan Tyson, if you don't go Tate, you have to go Tyson. But I think Tyson's injury history, which I haven't really dived that deep into yet, we kind of wait until after the season is over, the NFL season, to really start doing our prospect stuff. But I don't know. The injury stuff just worries me with what we've seen in Cleveland.
Yeah. Carnell Tate, a 17.5 yard average. That's something that I want to see. These guys that are 6'3", 6'4", they're about 200 pounds. Mike Evans and these guys that play in the league, they really can help their quarterbacks out, especially having that special talent of winning the 50-50 ball, because it seems like when Carnell Tate's there, it's going to be 70-30. But I'm not just trying to be a Buckeye homer here. He's plays well in that position, and the 50-50 ball is huge part of the NFL, and we don't really have anybody that can do that right now, other than I really like the one that Harold Fannin Jr. got in the end zone. I think Shedeur put it right in the spot where it needed to be, and he got that rebound football and took it down. Man, that was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And I also like to bring up another point, if that's okay with you guys.
Yeah.
So if we could tank to get the first or second pick in this draft, the Jets, Raiders, I think a few other teams, some dude said the Rams, because Matt Stafford might retire after this year.
Uh-huh.
If we could trade that and then possibly get 3 first-round picks next year and like 2 the year after that, I think we're talking about, if we play our cards right, just the youngest team in the NFL in terms of starting rookies.
I think we might already be. I mean, what do we have this year? Well, maybe not starting, but 14? We have 14 rookies on the roster? That's a lot.
Yeah, we got way too many UDFAs. We got way too many first and second year players. And that's why you see all these mistakes. That gets back for me with Stefanski when he makes these play calls. I'm like, you're using really young players. I would rather Kansas City Chiefs can get away with that, but they're super veteran, right? As far as seeing, I like your idea. I'm 50, bro. I don't know how many years of tanking I can handle anymore. I just don't want to see it. I'm tired of it, right? But again, if it gets to that way, I'm a Browns fan through and through. I would like to be young again. And you're talking about building through the draft, right? And we got to clear some debt out because of Deshaun. So, I mean, that could be likely.
Yeah.
Well, anything else, Braylon?
No, thank you guys so much. This is, I love what you guys do. Ultimate respect to you guys and all the Browns fans out there. Hang in there, right?
Yes, sir. Well, appreciate you jumping in here and appreciate you supporting the show. Everybody in here supporting the show, being part of the Dog Pack. If you guys want to get into the Dog Pack, just head to jointhedawgs.com, become a Patreon member, sync up with the Discord. You can be part of these episodes like Braylon just did. We love hearing from everybody. I especially, it's cool to me whenever people come up and it's their first time, because a lot of people, maybe I'll chat with in the Discord or on social media or wherever, but to actually hear you or maybe even sometimes see you on the video is really cool. This episode is sponsored by Omaha Steaks. Browns fans, year after year, I struggle with gifting during the holidays. So you know what I do? Everybody wants meat. Everybody's going to cook, so everybody can use the delicious foods from Omaha Steaks. So that's the route that I take. From effortless holiday hosting to unforgettable gifts, Omaha Steaks delivers the world's best steak experience. And right now, shop this season's top gourmet gifts at omahasteaks.com. Plus, our listeners get an extra $35 off with code BARK, B-A-R-K, at checkout. I could tell you how great the food is and the quality and all that stuff, but one thing I never really mentioned, Omaha Steaks sends everything packaged in great little boxes that you can just stack in your freezer. I don't know about you guys, but for me, it really helps my organizational OCD to keep my freezer nice and neat and ready to go, and then I can quickly pull out whatever I want whenever I need it, and I am ready to go. So save big on gourmet gifts and more holiday favorites with Omaha Steaks. Visit omahasteaks.com and for an extra $35 off, use code BARK at checkout. Terms apply. See site for details. That is omahasteaks.com, promo code BARK. Okay, so let's shift gears here, Kenny. Is there anything else you want to touch on before we go into the Bears game?
No, let's get in the Bears game and let's talk. Let's put this one to bed. It wasn't a win, and we saw what we need to see, and let's move forward.
Absolutely. Okay, so I'm going to do my spiel, and you guys just listen along, and then anything I say or anything you guys want to talk about after I'm done, get your hands up, and we'll bring you up. All right, so on Sunday, we got the 3-10 Cleveland Browns heading to the Windy City to face the 9-4 Chicago Bears. Bears are 7.5-point favorites. The over-under is 38.5. The Browns are plus 330 to win the game. On Kalshi, which we're doing some Kalshi promotions now, if you go over there right now, the Browns have just a 24% chance to win the game. So if you guys think there's a chance the Browns pull off the upset in this very cold, maybe ground battle type of game, you can get a pretty nice return over on Kalshi. It's kalshi.com/dogs. Get you $20 when you trade $100 by using our link. But we'll talk about stats and things, but you guys know as well as I do that coming off an embarrassing loss to the 1-11 Titans at home, this is a game against the Bears. It's totally one the Browns would just go and win and really confuse everybody. That's just how things go sometimes. Is that what I'm betting on happening? No, but again, nothing shocks me at this point. This Bears offense with Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams, it's actually 5th in the league, 370 yards per game. They're about middle of the pack in passing, but they are the second best rushing offense in the NFL at 152 yards per game. And that is not good for the Browns defense that has been getting absolutely gashed by running backs this season. We started out strong the first 3 weeks. We allowed just 57 rushing yards per game. We were great. We were number 1 in the league. Ever since the Lions game, when Jahmyr Gibbs torched us, the Browns have now allowed 114 yards per game. Since then, the only game that we've held an opponent under 90 was the freaking Raiders. In that stretch, we had a game of 177 allowed. That was the Patriots, and 2 games of 184 yards allowed on the ground. That was the Ravens and the Titans. So DeAndre Swift, Kyle Monangai, they have turned into a nasty running back duo for the Bears this season. I think, like I said, this game's going to be freezing. Mentioned it before, they're calling for -15, -20 wind chill. I fully expect the Bears to run at us over and over. We cannot stop the run, and those two backs, I think, are just going to feast. It also makes sense because that's what the Titans did to very much success. Limit the number of quarterback dropbacks, take Myles Garrett out of the game, do up the time of possession. And when they do drop back, Caleb Williams is actually having a pretty strong second season in the NFL. Last year's number 1 overall pick. He's got 2,900 yards, 19 touchdowns, and just 6 interceptions on the year. He's taken only 20 sacks. Chicago is top 3 in the NFL in protecting the quarterback. They allow just 1.5 sacks per game. So if Myles Garrett is going to break the sack record this week, he's got his work cut out for him. Now, on the flip side, Chicago's defense is a little bit interesting. They allow the 6th most yards per game at 357, 225 passing, 132 rushing. So an offense can move the ball on these guys. They also allow 25.8 points per game. So, we'll see if the Browns offense with some newfound life and energy can actually do something here with Shedeur Sanders under center. Where Shedeur in the offense needs to be very careful. The Bears defense leads the NFL in takeaways with 27. That's 2 takeaways per game on average. So ball security needs to be an even bigger focus this week than it has been, especially for Shedeur, because the 27 takeaway number includes 18 interceptions. And then also speaking of turnovers, Chicago's offense has the second fewest turnovers in the league, so they clearly emphasize and execute on both sides of the ball in that department. Kenny, thoughts on the game?
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head. That plus 17 turnover margin is something that our Browns just turn the ball over, whether it's special teams, whether it's our offense. We're going from the Wildcat. Doesn't matter, seems who's in there. We're turning it over. In this game, the one thing I've never liked about Stefanski, I've been on with these guys for many, many years, and the one thing he does not do well is bully ball. And this is a bully ball game. You just have to get down. Your line has to get some push, bloody your nose. Somebody's going to make some tackles, and it's just going to be a hard-nosed game, and we just don't ever seem to perform well. And I can tell you, you guys will remember the New Orleans Saints game. It was, last year? It was, minus 23? It was just a ridiculous...
2022.
Was it 20? Yeah, so when it was still an awfully cold game. Sean Payton came in here with his, 2 and whatever team, and they just taught us a new lesson on how to play bully ball, and we just never ever have done it well. We lost to the Raiders in 2021 in the kind of the same fashion, where we had all 4 seasons of Cleveland weather going on, and they just ran us over to a 10-7 or 13-7 win. Like, we just don't do it well. I would like to see somebody push somebody around, and that's mainly our offensive line push their defensive line around for once. And I don't think so. I'm about as optimistic as Josh is. I just see the ball being run down our throats and not being able to do anything, because that's what we saw last week, and they had no answer for it. And I don't think the signing of Maurice Hurst to the practice squad is going to change anything on that.
No, but I do like getting belly rubs back on the team. And I'm not being sarcastic. Like, I really like Maurice Hurst. I've always liked him. I liked having him on the team, and I'm glad to have him back. And actually, Kenny, it was Dennis Allen, not Sean Payton, who came in here and beat us.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, in 2022. That's right. So that's another thing. So
he took over for Sean. I forgot.
People will say, like, cold weather does not impact the game of football, like, really that much. It's the wet. It's whenever it's snowing, raining, and when it's windy. But freezing cold temperatures, that's a different story. So when we're talking like this game's going to be, 28 degrees or 34 degrees or something, that's really not that big of a deal. Whenever you're talking negative numbers, that's brutal. And we definitely saw that in 2022.
Yeah. Yeah, it was bad, and like, if you just take a look at Shelby Harris and you take a look at Mike Hall Jr., you take a look at their run stats on PFF, it was not good, and I just don't see that getting much better.
No. Brad, what's going on, man?
Come with me and you'll be in a world of pure imagination. But it's going to be a winter wonderland on Sunday, apparently.
Was it supposed to snow? I didn't know if it was supposed to be precipitation or just freaking cold.
I'm sure at that degree, if anything, it'll still be light. Like you'll probably have some snowflakes. I don't think it's going to be like a snowball game or like a blizzard or anything, but
no, these guys are
probably be light precipitation, most likely.
Bundled up. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Chicago's, cold for a reason. I mean, they have that weird like wind that comes through there. Because of the city, how the city's set up. For this game, man, let's look at positive things. I think at minimum, Miles should get a sack. Where that will be in the game, who knows? I still think he'll get a sack this game. Depending how the wind and the cold is, it's just going to be back and forth running the ball and short passes, screen passes, end around, stuff like that we don't do really great at ever. Yeah, I mean, it's probably going to be a low scoring game. I could see this being kind of like a back and forth field goal game. Which is also not great for when it's cold out. Yeah. I think it's gonna be a close game. Hopefully, I'm hoping that Shedeur continues to progress and gets the ball down the field a little bit. But I could see this being something like a 13-7, 13-10 kind of game, somewhere in there. So,
yeah, it'll probably be. I mean, one of the biggest things, I feel a lot more comfortable with Shedeur in the short game. He has a better feel for the screen game overall. I like how he sets guys up. He just kind of puts it right when the running back's in stride. Not that running back has to stop, plant, and then go. You've lost too much time on a screen at that point. The other thing is the way that Miles played the game last week. While I love Miles, I thought he shot too far up the field last week, and that was leading to the big gashes that you saw last week as well. If they can just shore that up, I don't know if that was a game plan or what that was, but that just never changed the entire game, and that was really frustrating to see. So hopefully that shores itself up, which it should, because I can't imagine anybody in this weather that we think it's going to be taking deep drop backs, right? So he shouldn't have to line that far up and make that wide a gap. So that should shore up for sure. But I'm feeling good about the way our game is in that overall. So we'll see what happens on Sunday, but we'll see.
The way this game is not low scoring or close is if the Bears come out here and just right down the field every time they have the ball on the ground, because if it's a game where like Manungai and Swift each have like 75 plus yards rushing, forget it.
I mean, it'll be a rough game and a high time of possession, and we're going to see the defense get gassed, and someone's going to break a big one.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, I can see this game being who has the best tight end that can catch for the game.
Well, I will say I'll take Harold Fannin, man. I like him. Colson Luffton's a nice young player too, but
yeah,
I like my Harold.
Because doesn't the Bears have that other tight end too?
Cole Kmet.
What's his name?
They got Kmet, they got Loveland, we got Njoku, they got and Fannin. So I mean, there's good tight ends to go around.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a tight end game. I think our wide receivers are gonna have pretty low target numbers. And even like the Bears, I think they'll be kind of lower on the target margin. I mean, especially as cold as the game is going to be. But we'll see. I mean, Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen were throwing in that Ice Bowl game back in the playoffs. So I don't know. We'll see.
Well, I don't remember the temperature of that game.
It was cold. It was really cold. Like,
maybe they'll get both Sanders and Amari Marshall up, and we'll be doing a bit of the what do you call it? The wishbone offense, like we did with Baker back in the cold game against. Was it? I think it was a cold game against the Panthers in 2020 or 2019 or something.
Yep.
That's I mean, get some big backs out there and wear them down.
Yeah. But yeah, it should be an interesting game. Just, Blake was like, man, it'd be nice to have our young rookie quarterback play in good weather. I'm like, no, I want him to play in bad weather because he won't be able to play at that stadium until 2029 at the earliest. So he needs to get used to the crappy weather. I mean, he played in Colorado, so I mean the weather there is not great either.
Right.
So, but yeah, let's see how that does.
Yep.
He definitely looked calm, cool, collected. It didn't seem like the elements bothered him in Cleveland last week. That looked great, and I mean, it just kind of permeated itself through the team, and that's how they got as close as they did.
Yep, absolutely. Well, I wanted to go back real quick. I don't think Kevin's still in here, but he made a comment earlier in the show when we first were getting started that I wanted to come back to. I wrote it down here. Moving on from the Chicago Bears, well, not even moving on, including the Chicago Bears game. These last 4 games, we've got some what he called formidable opponents in this stretch. So obviously you've got playoff teams like you got the Bears. The next week you got the Bills. The week after that you got the Steelers. All 3 right now are playoff teams. And then you got to wrap up the season with the Bengals down in Cincinnati. So there's some good teams, some good defenses, some good competition we're going to be going against. And I'm excited to see how he performs in these situations because, I mean, I like what I have seen. I really do. I can't stress that enough. The progression from one game to the next, the way I feel like he is learning from mistakes and not repeating the same mistakes is encouraging because you see quarterbacks so many times. I mean, how many times do we complain about Baker Mayfield and his happy feet when he was getting pressure in the pocket? It's like, dude, calm down. Like you're okay. You got to work on these things. I feel like the things that everyone was concerned about with Shedeur, he's either already gotten rid of them or he's in the process of it. So I'm encouraged.
Yeah, we just got to, this audition for the next 4 games, we just got to see that continue to happen in every single game. So we'll see what he can do against the Bears. But like you said, with the way that they turn the ball over, he needs to minimize that the most. Like that's like the biggest expectation for him. And then protecting the ball, like I said, in this cold game and this cold weather and just managing that game the way it needs to be managed. We'll see what that's going to be a telltale sign of a rookie to see how he's kind of progressed. And hopefully, that Colorado experience in the elements helps.
Yeah, absolutely. And kind of to go with the turnover thing, just real quick before we wrap it up here, quick keys to the game for me, like offense, ball security, just mentioned, top priority. They lead the league in takeaways. They lead the league in picks. So Shedeur needs to be hyper-focused on that. You got to limit drives behind the chains. So it feels like we start at least one of every 2 drives behind the chains on either first or second down, whether it's a penalty or a run for 0 yards or even a bad return on a kick. We constantly put our offense in difficult positions. And no stupid coaching decisions, please. If we're in field goal range, take the freaking points. If it's 4th and 1 in our own territory, just punt. And no more Wildcat, please. I think fans are kind of just sick of it at this point. It worked the first few times because it was new. But now teams just stuff Quinshawn up the middle because that's all we run out of it. And the one wrinkle we've seen out of that formation was a total disaster. So please, no more Wildcat this week. Just leave Shedeur on the field. Let him make a play. On defense, stop the freaking run. Do what the Titans did to us and what the Bears are likely going to do to us. Stop the run. Make them beat you through the air. We have a relentless pass rush, a good secondary, but those things mean nothing if they are ripping off 8 yards a carry.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. I just want to see a little bit more run game from us. If you were getting through the stats, especially with Tevin Jenkins, you were saying he was pretty highly regarded as far as
the best run blocker on the team. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's the best run on the team. I'd like to see what Whippler has, and let's get Quinchon going because that's exactly what we need. I do want to see one of the bigger backs in the game just to wear guys down and use Samson accordingly. The running game is going to be vitally important this, and we need Shedeur to get the ball. I'd like to see, regardless of the temperature, I'd like to see 2 deep shots down the field. Hopefully we get one of them to kind of loosen the defense up. And then I think you already heard what I said on defense. Shore up the run game. I'm going to agree with Josh on that. But then we can't have Miles firing up the field and not worrying about gap integrity. Like, you guys are going to just have to clamp down on the edge, contain, and stop this and make them one-dimensional and make Caleb throw, because like you said, they're pretty close as far as pass run is. I think they're close to 2,000 running, and they're 3,000, almost 3,000 passing. So let's make them predictable, and let's not set them up for these fantastic plays that Ben Johnson seems to figure out and score big touchdowns on. So, yeah, stay home, boys. Stay home on your defensive lanes. And you might get your wish this week, Kenny. You might get to see Rocket Sanders, because I forgot, Jerome Ford is on IR. He's done for the season, and Dylan Sampson's not practicing. So even if he does play, we're still just down to 2 running backs, and the second one's banged up. So we might see. Yeah. I think he'll at least be active. And we'll see if he ends up getting any carries or not, but that'd be exciting to see. I know they got Trevion Williams as well. They re-signed him to the team, and he was returning kicks for the San Diego Chargers. So he more than likely will be taking Jerome Ford's spot on special teams. And then will he get some play? He looked great in the passing game in the preseason, but that's just the preseason. But he has the feel for it, which is great. And he probably has the feel for it and practice with Shedeur. So we'll see what happens with that running game. The reason why I want the Rocket there, we were big on him, and the Browns drafting him later in the rounds. Also, he's about 230 pounds, and I think that would go a long way in this bully ball game that I'm telling you about. So, buckle down, bloody some noses, and let's roll. Play football, I think is what you're saying, right? Just play some football. Hell yeah, man. Come on, guys. Last thing I don't want to see, quit trying to be the smartest people in the room. Trying to freaking outsmart everybody, and it always comes back to bite us in the butt. Every time. Yeah, you were saying earlier, like, go take the points when they're there. Like, get the field goals, develop your kicker, make him kick an extra point after when you're 2 touchdowns down in a game, so he gets a feel for it. Make him kick an extra point when the game's on the line and tie it up. Yeah. Is it that bad now, based on the way that our season's going, that these guys experience a tie? Let that sink in their heads. I mean, it wasn't a loss. Is it something to build on? Absolutely. Like, with this young team, it's like I said before. I mean, if you're a veteran, maybe try some of that stuff, but just get them to do the basics and get out of the season, and let's handle next year. And that's what I was saying on the show the other day. Like, this is my issue with the way the Browns utilize analytics, because I don't care if the analytics would tell you in a specific situation, time of the game, score, all that stuff. Hey, it's 4th and 1, you're on this yard line, go for it. We don't. Look at our offense. We're not an offense who can just walk out there and be like, oh, yeah, we'll just go for it on 4th and 1. We don't get it. That's fine. No, we can't. We don't have the luxury of giving up points when they're available to us. Take the points. That's what I hate about the analytics. You have to take things into consideration with the confines of your team. Your team sucks on offense. You guys can't score points very easily. Take them when they're there. And you don't have a pinch receiver. Pinch receivers, right, they'll get you a first down in a pinch, and we don't have one. We just don't have it. You can't do it, and it doesn't matter what you draw up. It just shows this year that the guys are too young. No, and they're not getting it. 4th and short, and short situations have always been bad under Kevin. They've been maybe the play call's been good, and it's like, oh, the design was nice. The execution has always sucked. Always. It backfires more than it ever works. Yeah, absolutely. So, all right. Well, appreciate everybody tuning in. Kenny, thank you for jumping in here and doing another preview show with me. Only 3 of these left. It's crazy. I feel like the season has just flown by, and I feel like it's so fast. It's gone fast. At the same time, I feel like it's been forever, because I feel like we've had the Joe Flacco season, the Dylan Gabriel season, now the Shedeur season. It's crazy when you're doing this, but that's how it feels. If you guys out there are listening after the show here and you want to be on these Discord live episodes each week, head to jointhedawgs.com, become an official Dog Pack member on the Patreon page. We're going to be doing these all throughout the off season. So just whenever, as soon as the season's over for the Browns and there's no more preview shows, that means we're diving into playoff talk and Super Bowl talk and maybe head coaching search and prospects and draft and all that
fun stuff. So.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
Can't wait. season of new hope for us Browns fans.
That's right. Super Bowl season for the Browns is coming soon, so you guys don't want to miss it. We'll be there for the whole thing. So thanks again for tuning in, and we will see you guys Sunday night on the reaction show after the Browns take on the Bears in Chicago. Go Brownies. We'll see you guys then.
Let's go Browns. Hoo, 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 hoo.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Dawgs Podcast. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube and follow us on Twitter at the Dawgs Podcast. Get your thoughts on the show at thedawgspodcast.com.
This episode is sponsored by Kalshi. Browns fans, are you ready to put your money where your predictions are? With Kalshi, America's #1 regulated prediction market, you can legally trade on events that actually matter to you. And the best part is you don't need to predict specific stat lines and compile a 7-leg parlay just to win big. With Kalshi, the objective is either yes or no. Will the Browns win their game this week? Will Quinshon Judkins score a touchdown? Will Carson Schlesinger win Defensive Rookie of the Year? You can put your money on these predictions and more with Kalshi. If you want to try it out, all you have to do is sign up at kalshi.com/dogs. That's KALSHI.com/dogs, DAWGS, and trade $100. Get away from disadvantageous sportsbooks and dive into real-world outcomes with real-time odds and real payouts. Head over to kalshi.com/dogs or click the link in the description to get $20 when you trade $100 with Kalshi. Because why shouldn't you get paid for being right?